Joining me now from Jerusalem is Avi Meir, editor-in-chief of the Jerusalem Post. Avi, thank you so much for joining me. I think it's so important for our viewers to really understand what it's like on the ground. And before we get to that, I wanted to ask you, earlier today you posted that your publication, the Jerusalem Post, was under cyber attack. How are those attacks impacting your paper's work, and what's the status at this point in time?
Well, look, Jen, at a moment where the most important thing is accurate information and truth coming from the ground, we have been under sustained attack really since the early hours of yesterday morning. Our website has been on and off throughout that period. Right now, I believe it's on. There have been several periods, including several hours, in which it was taken completely offline by a coordinated attack. In the past, we found that those attacks have been directed by state actors. You can probably surmise who I'm referring to. That is certainly possible now as well. There's clearly a very concerted effort to ensure that the truth is not getting out there and people are not hearing the reporting from the ground. Of course, we will not let that deter us. We're available on all social media platforms, and our website is back up and running at this time.
That's good news. Are you getting the assistance you need from the Israeli government and others?
Well, I mean, we're an independent news agency, so we don't rely on any outside actors to ensure that our word is getting out there. Of course, we're in touch with all relevant authorities, but our tech team is excellent, and we've been working throughout the clock to make sure that we're able to get our information out there as swiftly and as easily as possible.
Great. That's great news. Obviously, I was asking just given it was a cyber attack. I wanted to just ask you, I mean, your opinion piece just put in such stark terms what the impact of the attack from yesterday is. Tell us a little bit more about how people are digesting the last 36 hours, the type of people you've been talking to and your reporters have been talking to in the streets, and how it's really impacting what is very much a small community in many ways.
Look, I think the admiral had it right. This really does feel like Israel's 9/11. I was a high school senior in the D.C. area on 9/11, 2001, and I remember the sense of chaos and confusion, the inability to know what would be hit next, not knowing whether people would come home alive. That is very much what Israelis are experiencing today, but at a far larger scale. And we're talking not about double the number, triple the number, 6 times the number of Israelis by proportion compared to the number of Americans who were killed in 9/11. That's how many have been killed or confirmed killed as of now, 600 Israelis. That number is completely unprecedented. These are numbers that Israelis are not used to contending with. I don't think any nation has contended with this kind of carnage at this scale after such a devastating surprise invasion. And we're talking about elderly men and women executed in the street, children, entire families, some of which were killed and some were abducted and taken to Gaza. We've seen horrible images of children being abused by Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, of mothers huddled over their children as there are crowds around them jeering and poking at them. These are horrific, devastating images that have affected the psyche of the nation and will likely continue to do so for many, many years to come.
We've seen some videos just on social media of people being abducted, being taken hostage. What more have you learned or have your reporters learned about the identities or the numbers of Israeli citizens and maybe even American citizens who have been taken hostage?
Well, we do know that there are Americans among the dead. We suspect that there are also some amongst the abducted. We don't have that confirmed as of yet. The abducted really run the gamut. There are elderly men and women, and there were images of elderly women being driven around by Hamas, obviously totally confused about what was going on. There have been images of young mothers huddled with their young children as Hamas activists surround them. We know that quite a large number of young people who were at an all-night dance party in the desert were taken captive by Hamas. We have had images of them being taken on motorcycles into the Gaza Strip. So it really does run the gamut. Of course, we also have heard reports that there are soldiers amongst those who've been abducted. The IDF has confirmed that that is the case. We don't know exactly how many or indeed how many in total have been abducted, but we are likely talking about a very large number indeed, which of course will complicate the act of rescuing them, which of course is what the Israeli Defense Force is trying to do at this very time.
Absolutely, and could lead to a prolonged war. Avi Meir, thank you for your reporting. Thank you for fighting through the cyber attack, and thank you for everything you're sharing with the world about what is happening in Israel at this time. I appreciate you joining me.